What is up, Midnight Tokers, Afternoon Inhalers, and AM Hookah Smokers? You're tuned in right now to the HookahJohn YouTube channel. What am I doing here? Well, my name is Matt, and I'm joined every single week with my partner in crime, Adrian Hunter. What are you up to, Adrian?
I'm good. I'm actually sitting here with you talking about the AM Hookah Podcast, where we talk either amongst ourselves or to different people in the hookah industry or community about all things hookah. And this is not the AM Hookah Podcast channel. You're viewing this on HookahJohn's YouTube hookah channel. We're interviewing HookahJohn.
We are. You can find us if you like the content that you're seeing right now and you want to find out more about this, you can head on over to youtube.com/AM Hookah. But right now, this is the HookahJohn interview starting now. What is up, Midnight Tokers, Afternoon Inhalers, and AM Hookah Smokers? This is the AM Hookah Podcast, your weekly hookah podcast every Monday at 6:30 Central Standard Time right here on YouTube and on Twitch, here to talk about the world of hookah and so much more. I am the M in the AM, and joined with me is the on the road again. He's so happy to be back on the road again. Adrian Hunter, going to be doing a massive road trip, but he's here with us right now. Adrian, how are you doing, my friend?
Excited, packed up for the Expo. We're going to spend like 4 days out there, I think is what it's going to end up being by the end of it. And we are road tripping. Me and the lady are going to make a leisurely road trip. Lots of stops, lots of bullshit. We get in there about 2 p.m. Thursday if anyone wants to say hi, and I know you do. No, good. We got a really good show lined up. This is the last show before a thing happens, a very important thing that this entire podcast may or may not be based around that entire thing. But yeah, I'm good, Matt. How about you?
I am doing very good. I had a very good weekend. I went camping. More news on that another time. But we have a very fun-filled show for you guys today. We're going to be joined by the one and only Mr. HookahJohn. We're like 6 days away from the Expo. I'm going to be getting there on Thursday as well. So like it's right around the corner. It's absolutely crazy. But we got John here. He's going to be talking to us about the Expo and about a whole bunch more. Plus, we have a really, really cool surprise that you need to stick around for until the end of the show. Stick around for your chance to win the VIP only bowl plus a $25 gift card to HookahJohn.com. John is giving this away. If you would like to enter right now in the chat over on YouTube, you need to type in HEW VIP and you'll be entered into the raffle. Like I said, you can only win if you are here present at the very end of the show. We're going to call you out, and if you're not here, we're going to move on to the next person. So if you're going to enter into the raffle, I highly suggest you stick around until the very end of the show. That way you have your opportunity to actually win that prize. Yeah, just a lot of really fun stuff that's going to be going on, obviously. You're going to want to stick around and watch this. We are live right now on Facebook as well, but you're going to want to come over to youtube.com/AM Hookah so that you can be a part of the entire show and be entered into that giveaway as well. Thank you guys so much for showing up. We got Travis Green, my wife Bridget, David, how are you doing? Derek Moses, James is here as well, Travis Green. Everybody's hanging out in the chat, having a good time. It's going to be a fantastic thing. Adrian, we have a very special message that we need to tell the younger viewers of the audience, though, right now. What is that, Adrian?
If you don't mind, I'll handle this.
Please do.
Hello, everybody. I hope you are doing well. I also hope that you know what the legal age of smoking is in whatever state you're in. If you're in the States, most of them is 18. Some of them are 21. If you're not at or above that age, I'm going to kindly ask you to go away. Your parents have some chores for you, and we don't need you here. If you're of age, welcome to the podcast. And Matt, we're on Facebook right now, right?
We are.
Hi, Facebook. We won't be here for much longer. More on that in a second.
Yes, we're going to be leaving Facebook here very shortly. I just want to give you guys a good understanding of what it is that we're doing here today, especially if you're listening to the show after the fact. Very quickly, there's a small programming note that I think we should shout out. We'll talk about it at the end of the show as well. But just so you know, we have the live show today. As you are watching the AM Hookah Podcast, we will have a production video going up on Wednesday as well. It's going to be actually my review this time, and I believe it's going to be a review of Zomo Akai Cream, my review video for that, which I don't want to give you anything away, so just have to wait and hold on till that. But yeah, so a lot of fun things going to happen, and then there's going to be no show on Friday because we're going to be in Las Vegas on Friday, and then next Monday, when we would normally have the show, because there's going to be a lot of traveling, myself, Adrian as well, there's going to be no AM Hookah next Monday. So be prepared for that. Those are the production notes that I would like to make you guys very much aware of. I think that's about it. I think we're going to say goodbye to Facebook and bring HookahJohn onto the show. Once again, head on over to youtube.com/AM Hookah and see what is happening over there. Adrian, any last thoughts or words that you'd like to share with the people over on Facebook?
Hi, Facebook. If you don't come to YouTube, I feel bad for you.
All right. Well, goodbye, Facebook. We will see you guys later, and head on over to the YouTube channel so you guys can join us up over there. I'm ending the live over there right now. It is being ended. It is over with. We are only live here on Facebook and over on Twitch. Twitch.com.
You mean YouTube and Twitch?
YouTube and Twitch. I don't know what I said. YouTube.com/AM Hookah. Twitch.tv/AM Hookah. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Let's just get into the show proper and bring on our very special guest, Mr. John Nador. I believe is how you pronounce his last name. He'll have to correct me if I am wrong. You're now on screen right now, Mr. Hookah John. John, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing excellent, Matt. Thanks for having me on. That was a bit of a fake answer. I'm actually all over the place this week. It's the week before the Expo, and things are nuts for us.
I can only imagine. Now, obviously, people know you for a lot of reasons. They probably know you best for helping bring hookah into America in a very, very meaningful, mainstream way. Before I started watching like HookahJohn videos and stuff, I feel like it was a little bit different, and then you really helped kind of bring it into vogue and really kind of help the enthusiast market in a lot of ways. Obviously, you have bowls that you've brought to market, you have coals that you've brought to market, you have hookahs that you have brought to market, not only stuff that you've brought from overseas and other places, but also your own manufacturing as well. And you're also very famous for the infamous, possibly, just throw it in there, it's not rocket science. I believe that's very well known, obviously.
Yep. Thank you for that intro.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it.
So we do have a
Matt, you need to change the layout so that John is on the stream.
Oh my God, how did I mess that up?
Matthew, I was like, when's this gonna pop up? Matthew?
Oh, I messed that up. I'm so sorry. John's now on the screen right now. I promise you, he really is. That was my mistake. Where's that face? Everyone's asking in the chat right now. There's John.
I think this is the first actual technical difficulty you've had, and it's on this episode.
On season 4. Yeah, it took us a couple. It took us a couple episodes, but it was going to happen eventually, obviously. But John, you're actually sponsoring a giveaway on today's episode. Could you talk about that very briefly?
Yes. I wanted to support you guys. You guys are supporting me, supporting the Expo, and I wanted to give away one of these HEW bowl onlys. This is what the VIPs are getting, those that were, kind enough to get a VIP ticket to Hookah Expo Worldwide. We got your HEW stamp in there. Hope you can see that. Yes. And these will be part of the many things that are going to be in the goodie bag from various vendors. We made this color scheme not to be repeated. It's only going to be given away to the VIPs. And in addition to that, we're giving you a $25 gift card to HookahJohn.com.
Yes, and it's very simple to enter that. All you got to do is type in exclamation HEW VIP, all one word, and you'll be entered into that raffle. The only thing is you have to stick around until the very end of the show to find out if you're a winner. If you are not here when your name is called, we will move on to the next person, so stick around until...
There are some people who missed out on the Nirvana giveaway because they weren't here, and we feel bad, but... what are you going to do? Yes.
Everyone's saying very pretty bowl. My wife just said very pretty bowl inside of the chat right now.
Unique color combo coming out of John's bowl specifically. Mm-hmm. I don't think we've seen orange as a sparse color, but orange over that like stone gray. I'm mad. I'm mad that I don't have one, and I'm going to be running around with like a $50 bill trying to get one at the Expo.
Nice. Well, don't tell anyone, but we are going to have a few extras because not every bowl comes out perfect, so in order to get the 125 bowls out, we brought in, I'd say a dozen or so more, just in case. So, it's part of the new color theme that you'll see on the website after the show. These are staff shirts. I think they came out pretty cool. I'm not going to wear a HookahJohn branded shirt this time, but I will be representing the new colors. So hopefully you guys like that. And you guys have to see my booth when we're there. I haven't even showed any sneak peek pictures or anything. But usually I'm pretty simple, if you guys have seen over the years, as far as a booth. We just get some banners made up and so forth. But we went pretty big on our booth this time. It's a 40 by 40 booth, so we can stand among the big guys like Alfaker and Maya Hookahs and Fumari and Zomo and Zoomered and Tangiers, and Chaos is coming. That's a big... they're going to go big and have a nice booth. So I got to keep up with these guys.
Very nice. So let's go ahead and get into the show as we normally do. The first thing that we like to talk about here on our hookah-based podcast is actually what it is that we are actually smoking. So, Adrian, why don't you kick it off a little bit to us? What are you smoking on today's episode of the podcast?
Double feature. I got in the studio early to prepare for this important podcast. So I was halfway through a bowl of This is going to be the Matt Pear. I've actually got a Surrey bowl on top. I'm sinning for not having a HookahJohn bowl. The next bowl is going to be a HookahJohn 80 feet, though. Don't worry. But I do have the Andromeda from Nirvana Eclipse. I've got Black Peach from Zoo Merit, and I've got Grapefruit from Trifecta's Darkline.
Ooh, what a mix.
Yeah, it's quite good. And on top, obviously, no offense, John, but sponsor of the AM Hookah Podcast, Prestige Coconut Coals.
Yes.
This is the coal we use in the podcast, and we do talk about them because they're good guys. And that's it for me. Although pretty soon, it might be the room. I've got a bowl of pretty simple lemon muffin and 24 karat going on top right after, probably in like 5 minutes.
Man, you got some good smoking hookahs going on today. What about you, John? What are you going to be smoking on today's episode?
Tangiers bug powder.
Ooh, Tangiers. We know you're a big Tangiers fan. That's what probably is. Would you say Tangiers is right up there with your top favorite brands? Yeah, by far. Bug powder. So I want to ask you a question about bug powder because I've heard a couple different things throughout the years. I've gotten bug powder many, many years ago, and I swear I had this taste of like sour, like it was like sour powder. And every time I've ever said that, people always told me that I was crazy for thinking that it tasted like that. From my understanding, it's just a big mix of all the cashmere flavors. Is that correct?
Honestly, I have no idea. I always thought it was just scraps that they would make a new mix of every batch, and that's why it does taste a little different each time. And then I don't taste a lot of cashmere in it. I taste a lot of chocolate at times in it. So it could be the effect of blending a bunch of cashmere flavors, but I really don't think so.
Maybe it's just tabletop, kind of like Trifecta does their tabletop flavor. Maybe it's just that.
Yeah. The good thing is you'll be able to ask the folks over at Tangiers at Hookah Expo Worldwide this weekend.
Very, very true. Always on point when it comes to branding with John. We gotta. There will be no issue when it comes to this episode with remembering, like, to make sure that, like, shout out
here.
Exactly. Like, we will know exactly every single time, which is great. Which is exactly what we're doing here. We're here to talk about the Hookah Worldwide Expo. This is the third time that it's been done. I was there for the second one. I had a fantastic time. It was absolutely wonderful. Obviously, we're gonna get talking more about that as well. The largest American U.S. Hookah Expo. Absolutely fantastic. I am also smoking at the moment out of my beautiful Like Smoke Hookah. This is the pipe that I bought from John. I actually, when I went to buy this pipe, I reached out directly to John. I said, John, I need to have this color combination. If you don't have this color combination, it isn't worth it to me. He made sure that I got this one, so obviously I'm super appreciative of that. I'm smoking out of my 80 feet 80 bowl. Absolutely love this bowl. I am using 3 of the Cube from Prestige. Bubbles Coconut Charcoal, the proud sponsor of the AM Hookah Podcast, obviously. And the actual flavor that I'm smoking today is a mix of Dark Side. I'm doing some Dark Side Sweet Comet, some Dark Side, let's see, what else was it? Dark Side Polar Cream and Dark Side Supernova. Just an absolute fantastic mix. But I want to know what you guys in the chat are smoking right now. So let us know what it is you guys are smoking right now. Matthew Suppley says he's smoking out of his HJ Alien Bowl with Tangier's Cocoa Mint, which is very nice. Let's see, we also got some other comments coming through right now. James says, all these webcams, I feel like we're supposed to tip $1 and for an article of clothing comes off. No, you don't have to do that. We just got to drink a little bit, and I'm sure that'll probably be the next thing that happens, but not on this episode. This is not a drunk cast. That is not the point of what we are here today. David Harris has a question right away for you, John. He says, did John decide to compete in the battle? Are you going to be a part of the hookah battle that's going to be happening there at the Expo?
I actually did not sign up for that. I was thinking about that, and I was going to do it when I went to Germany. It got canceled in Germany. However, I might seriously put up a simple hookah and have it smoking to compete and see if the flavor comes out among the best there too. Just to show that it's not that difficult, but at the same time, I don't want to really mess with the guys who are getting creative with this. It's all in good fun, and there's hopefully going to be some creative stuff out there. But I don't know if I can whip something up last minute. You just reminded me, so maybe I will enter.
I like the idea that you had. You said on one of your lives, you said about maybe doing like a HookahJohn team of some kind. I thought that was kind of an intriguing idea. Obviously, most of the teams that are actually put together are just groups of people that want to hang out and do this hookah battle together and everything. But I thought the idea of like a HookahJohn team would be a pretty interesting idea. Sponsored teams from different like vendors and stuff I thought was a good idea. So, John, you may want to consider doing that again and give your boy a call. Okay, I'll join the HookahJohn team. I'll get a hookah smoking real good up there. I'll just throw it in there. It's not rocket science. That's what we'll call the team, the not rocket science hookah team.
That's a lot of syllables.
There you go. Maybe I will do that. Maybe I'll have something set up for you and just take one of our hookahs that's running at the HookahJohn booth and just say, Matt, take this up there, see what it does for you.
There you go. We'll talk more about this. You don't worry about that. We got a lot of other people commenting inside the chat right now. Justin Young is smoking cane mint mixed with some Alpha Kama orange. We also got Chris in the chat smoking out of a MiG 2.0 with some AF2 apples in a retro harmony bowl. Oh my goodness, we just got a new follow. Thank you so much for following us. Appreciate that. I think that means that you're watching us over on Twitch. If you are watching us on Twitch, we appreciate it. You might want to head on over to youtube.com/AM Hookah because that's where a lot of the craziness is obviously going down. Jason is also in the chat right now smoking Trifecta P3 and Huckleberry out of his 80 feet 80. So there's a lot of exciting things happening inside the chat. Travis Green smoking some Milk and Cookies out of Eternal Smoke with Red Lips and a little bit of Supernova. John, one of the newest companies to come out over the last little while has been this Eternal Smoke. Have you had a chance to go through their flavors a little bit?
This Eternal Smoke?
That Eternal
That'd be
Smoke.
the one, yeah.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
We're super excited about showing up. Yeah, I was able to smoke this flavor, the Milk and Cookies. Really good. I have not tried a lot of their flavors, but I can't wait to do it at their booth.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of samples that were out there. A lot of people got them. And the word on the street is it's good. It's going to be a winner. So I'm really excited about that. As far as trying a bunch of their flavors, I just haven't because I'm basic when it comes to hookah. I like my Tangiers. I like my Alfacker. I keep the same like few flavors from each brand. And it's not like the old days where I'd have to try everything new that came to market. So I'm just not the best critic on hookah tobacco at this time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the Expo is going to open my eyes a little bit and try some more brands out there that I'm really looking forward to doing.
Well,
you actually have a brand coming out that I'm very excited about because we just started to get them locally. I know Boss Hookah, you might be familiar with them over in Dearborn, started to stock some RAR tobacco, and that stuff is incredible.
I'm looking forward to seeing Roar too. That's going to be their second time at Hookah Expo Worldwide. And that's the great thing about the Expo. All these brands that are coming out get to present their products to you directly. And it's not just trying products, meeting the people behind the brands. And you can actually have a conversation with them. It's not like a simple answer every time. So you get to chat with them and see, all right, well, what is Roar Tobacco? Can you tell me more? And hopefully they'll be able to present it to you in a way that you'd be interested in picking up some of their flavors and trying them out.
One of the cool things, if you guys did not know, Bracken is going to be there at the Expo, and he's going to be hanging out over at the Eternal Smoke booth over there at the Expo. So make sure you stop by Eternal Smoke, say hi to Bracken, give him an AM Hookah high five, and ask him all the questions that you can think of, all the difficult ones. Ask him all the difficult questions the entire time.
And I know that everyone's talking about Milk and Cookies. I have not had that flavor. They were nice enough to send me out a couple. I would recommend you force Bracken to pack the Banana Dulce because that's a beautiful flavor.
Yeah, Banana Dulce
Okay,
is
by the way, sorry to interrupt, guys, but I don't see Bracken on. I'm only looking at the YouTube feed that you guys gave me.
Yeah, so Bracken, as the producer, isn't actually in the show. He's in behind the scenes, making sure all of our tech works.
Yeah, he's helping out with the comments, making sure that we can see all those. If you guys have a question for John at any time, make sure to drop a question mark in front of it so that we're able to easily pick it out and we can ask John it as quickly as possible. Bracken is checking out and watching that, making sure that he's getting all that information in there as quickly as possible. Matthew Suppley says the NRS Bowl, not rocket science. There you go. That's the name of your next bowl, John, right there, the NRS Bowl.
All right. I'll have to give Frank credit, but maybe I wouldn't mind doing that. That's actually a great idea.
There you go. Yeah, Matthew Suppley, always coming out with some very good ideas. All right, so let's go ahead and keep moving along forward, just as we always do. We actually have a little bit of a segment that we're gonna post right now. It may take you a second to be able to see it, John, but we do this thing. It's called the Picture of the Week, and it's something that people can easily enter over on our Facebook page, AM Hookah Facebook page. All you got to do is drop a picture. Our good Facebook moderator, Captain Wetbeard Austin, is over there, and he's making sure that people are getting the good prompts so they know what to post every week and everything. And this week we actually decided to go with, because we have John on the podcast, we are having the HookahJohn accessories, HookahJohn bowls, HookahJohn pipes, whatever the case may be. But here it is, the picture from Nathan John actually won this week's picture of the week. Thank you, Nathan John. You are the winner, and we're going to shout you out right now. Very, very happy to have you. He's smoking out of a So'oka hookah here in the picture. It looks absolutely fantastic. Adrian took the picture, and he also made it black and white to give it a little bit of drama and contrast. And
mostly just formatting stuff for our layout, honestly.
Yeah, now it fits better, basically.
Yeah, it fits better. That's all.
The So'oka hookah obviously is going to be there at the Expo as well. It's a very big hit. A lot of people have really liked it. I've smoked out of not last year, but when I was in New York City, I thought it was a very good smoking hookah. I'm excited to see more about it. Speaking of that kind of stuff, I got a question for you, John. Is there going to be some pretty nice deals going on at the Expo?
Oh, yeah. We've discounted our prices for the Expo, and there's always deals to be made there. So, yeah, it's going to be better than buying them online. You get to take them with you. I know, Matt, you drove last time. Are you driving this time again?
I am going to be driving from Idaho. It's going to be about an 8-hour drive. My wife is coming with me this time, so I'm super excited about that. But I'm not the only one driving, John. Adrian is going to be driving, and he has a much longer drive. Adrian, how long is your drive going to be? Dearborn,
Michigan to Las Vegas, Nevada comes out to be about 28 hours drive time. So 3 days should be adequate. We're gonna arrive Thursday. I like road trips, man.
That's awesome. I'm almost jealous of you. I mean, that is just a fun time. Hopefully you have a nice, comfortable car to go in. But the good thing is you're going to have some... Huh?
Subaru Outback. No, Crosstrek. We're in a Subaru Crosstrek. It's nice and big.
Well, there's some good trunk space in there for you to load up at the Expo, right?
We got a trailer hitch. We're bougie. We're going all the way. We're going to do some camping on the way there. It's going to be awesome.
All right, so here is a couple of questions that we have coming in on the chat right now. Chris asks, when do we get to pack HookahJohn a bowl? When do we get to pack you a bowl is what some people are wanting to know. Is there an opportunity that people can pack you a bowl to smoke?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Why not? Less work for me. I'm sure any of these guys can make an excellent smoking hookah bowl. So why not? If you want to do that, I will accept.
Oh, awesome. There you go. Just go up to him and be like, hey, John, I got a bowl for you. Just walk around with your hookah. I don't know if that's safe or not, but just do it. Just walk around, hand him the hose, be like, here, John, take this, and see what happens. I don't know if he'll accept it like that. Maybe be a little bit more, hi, how's it going? Nice to meet you, blah, blah, all that kind of stuff. Johnny Hetfield Hookah says, John, can I join your team with my Sehoka? There's a lot of talk about this HookahJohn team, John. I'm just saying.
I think, I don't know what he meant by that, but maybe he meant, can he join us at the HookahJohn booth? Yes, he can. And yeah, I'd love to smoke with Johnny again. He came out last year. Him and his family are great people. And yeah, I'm looking forward to spending some time with him and the family.
Another question, Matthew Suppley says, hey, are the HookahJohn mouth tips HEW exclusives?
No, the HookahJohn mouth tips. Are you talking about the stainless steel lanyard mouth tips?
Yes.
Yeah, those are available for sale right now.
Okay.
But we didn't make that many. I'd like to say the number was about 80 or so for now, but we have more in production. But we'll probably be taking most of them to the Expo, and we've sold a few already and just waiting to see how many we'll take. So there'll be a good amount there if you want to purchase those there.
So make sure you head on over to HookahJohn.com right now to get yourself one, or you can wait till the Expo and check out all that fun stuff, obviously. So obviously we are here to talk about the Expo. We're here to talk about all the fun stuff that revolves around that. Is there any last-minute details or news bits that you can possibly share with us? Maybe if there's any new vendors that are going to be you're going to announce over the next couple of days. Is there any final little news bits that you can share with us?
If you have not followed everything I say, because I do try to bring everything out, I'm really excited for not only all the exhibitors that we have coming from around the world. So we're going to have a lot of Brazil, Germany, and Russia being represented, which I was really, really happy about this year. But the fact that they're bringing entertainment with them. So, I mean, there's names that are coming to this. First of all, I'm really happy that our friends, the Hookah Bandits, are coming out, and they're going to be doing all of the DJing for the show, keeping our mood going good, and background music, and then they'll be walking around and talking to you guys too. But we also have Carl Wolf, which you'll have to YouTube him or Google him, but I guess he's a big deal. And then, I mean, you just check out the followers that they have. And another one, which is big more in the U.S., especially in our Armenian community in Los Angeles and Glendale, Super Sako is going to be there. And I didn't know how crazy people actually go for this guy, which is cool. I met him in Germany at the Chaos booth. And Chaos booth not only brought him there, they took him to a bunch of expos around the world, and they're bringing him to Hookah Expo worldwide. And they're not just going to sit there. They're going to actually have performances, you know, probably perform their latest songs and so forth. So, which I think is just adds to the fun of everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree to that. It's definitely going to be... Last year, there was a DJ playing music and stuff like that, but actually having performers on stage and doing some kind of different things after you walk around the expo for a little while, you can go watch them do their performances. That'll be really cool. That'll add a whole nother dimension to the entire expo, obviously. So that'd be really nice. Let's see. Can you give us...
Matt, sorry, last minute. I don't know if I even talked about this, but there is one large booth area that we didn't sell. So I said it was going to be a hookah lounge area, just tables and chairs set up for you to go and smoke and relax. But I think I saw Jake purchase some rental giant games. And I'd like to say like one of them is a giant checkers set or a chess set, like life size.
Oh. You know, I was on the chess team. Let's play some chess.
Yeah, and I might have to look for it, but you'll see it when you get there. Maybe a life size.
Oh no, you froze up a little bit. We'll try to get him back as quickly as possible. If something happens and he backs out of it because of his internet or connection status or something, we'll do our best to bring him back as quickly as possible. We have way more that we want to ask him and talk to him about. Obviously,
well, I can see him and hear him.
Oh, I can't. He's completely frozen for me.
I can see you just fine. Matt cannot for some reason.
Go ahead and ask him to reconnect real quick. Just drop and
John,
connect.
If you can, reconnect really quick because for some reason, Matt, who runs all this tech, is unable. So what you're about to see is our screen go completely haywire. And John, being the busy guy he is using his cell phone. Normally requests some type of computer, but John's what we call a hot ticket item. So basically, we were going to let him get away with whatever he wants. Yeah,
so we'll wait for him to come back. It looks like he's reconnecting right now. Hopefully everything reconnects as it should be, and we won't have any more problems, obviously. Yeah, it froze on yours because... okay, so we need to have him try one more time, sadly. Bracken, I got to kick you from the show for a second because of this whole ordeal and the way that it's being set up. I'm going to tell him to try one more time. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. I apologize for this, guys. Every once in a while, these sorts of things happen, obviously. And
how cool is this whole setup?
It's so cool.
John's back. Can you see John?
Yes, I can see John, and I'm able to see him move and hear him and everything, so it's good now. Let me get Bracken back on so that I can get the situation with our screen set back up, obviously. Okay, looks like
maybe we just do this whole thing.
Okay, we're back.
Screen destroyed.
We might have to. We'll have to wait and see.
It'll be fine.
Okay, so continually moving on, obviously. John, can you give us a vendor count of what the actual vendor count is going to be this year? Do you know what that is?
It's going to be over 30. I'm not sure exactly how many, but it's, I'd like to say 34, 35.
Okay, very nice, very nice. And this year, it's quite a lot bigger compared to what it was last year. If anybody was at the expo last year, you saw the size of it, obviously, in the scope. Would you say it's about double the size this year compared to last year?
Not double, but nearly.
Okay.
The good thing about it, though, is the quality of the actual vendors. We have all these offers where people say, can we come in and set up this booth of, like, vape or e-cig and stuff? We're like, no, not really. They're like, what about CBD? And, like, no, we can totally pack this thing if we start going to more vendors, and if we're doing it just for the money. But we're really trying. The important thing about Hookah Expo Worldwide is to keep it true to the hookah community and the hookah industry.
That's all.
That's just better for the long game, right? Because, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I'm sure people are just, like, wanting to get in and wanting to have some type of booth at the expo. But it's going to be so much better for this community if it just grows at the rate it's been growing. And then in a few years, you know, if it's the size as everything else, but it's all hookah, that's just way better that way than it would be with a bunch of, like, non-hookah vendors.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and get into our interview portion with you, and we'll kind of start going over and start talking about everything that we have going on, obviously. But I thought it'd be fun if we could hear a little bit of your story and just kind of say, like, who is John and how did you get into this whole thing? What is the story of HookahJohn?
You know what the worst part about this question is?
What?
I know most of the answer because I've watched his entire discography of YouTube videos. When I first got into reviewing, I was like, let's see what John does. And I just watched all his shit.
Thanks for watching all that. There's a lot out there, and I could go on for so much time, and it gets maybe boring. It gets boring to me because I know it all. I've said it all. And the thing is, I know there's a lot of new guys that we get out there. So I'll try to wrap it up quick. I would say, dude, I don't know. What's the question again? How did I get into this?
Who is John, and how did you get into this whole thing? Take the question however you will.
All right. John was born a playboy and was a player for most of his life. And then, I mean, you want to go back to like the 70s or what?
Let's focus more on hookah, probably.
Take it way back.
You start at hookah? Okay, at that point, John was near numb and living the real world with adult responsibilities, and it was great. HookahJohn's just a family man running a business, and is a hookah smoker, just like everyone who's watching. I really love hookah, always did before I got into the industry. And when we had our economy crash in, I don't know, 2008 or so, smoking hookah all night, stressed out, thinking about what's next for me. What am I going to do? So Adrian's followed all this stuff, so if there's anything you want to add, but I just started a small little hookah company. And over the years, I mean, I was carrying everyone's products. I said, I thought, well, maybe I can add to this. And I added some of my own products and still tried to bring in all of the latest and greatest around the hookah industry around the world. I would actually pick up product from in person in Lebanon, fill a suitcase full of goodies, bring them back, sell them. What else? Then I just started, I don't know, I think bringing out like classics like the Narbeach hose, the Alien Bowl. Tried to make. I remember
you had a hose even before the Narbeach, if I'm remembering it correctly. Back when you, I don't even know if it was your hose, but this is a really grassroots story because in your old videos, I don't know if that was your garage, but you were slinging hookahs like from your garage, like straight up grinding. That's what I loved about it.
Yeah.
It's inspiring for anyone who wants to like start their own shit. Go watch that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's some old videos out there, which is fun to watch. I actually watch them for fun myself. I'm like, oh my God, look, there's no gray there. It was quite a while ago. But yeah, the products came and went, and we tried to make some hookahs, and it took many years. I mean, there's been a lot of trial and error and a lot of failures along the way that maybe people don't know about as far as making hookahs. And we're so close where I almost made this hookah. That's one of my favorite videos. I was so excited about bringing these samples over, and I forget the name of them. I forget the YouTube thing, but it didn't work out. A lot of things didn't work out, but so far things are actually really doing good lately as far as production and bringing products to market. So you've seen the knurl hose, you've seen the So-So hose, the Saoka hookah, those lanyard mouth tips. We have more coming out too, and I don't want to get into detail, but the ideas are not being fresh anymore. I mean, we got something across the table like, let's make an HMD. I'm like, no, everyone makes HMDs. It was like the same thing with the lanyard, but they had an idea. They said, all right, instead of making just another lanyard, make it match your product line, like the So-So hose. Let's make it all. At first it was going to be aluminum, and then I'm like, yeah, people are wanting stainless steel. They wanted Saoka and stainless steel. It's just going to cost way too much. Well, let's get a little piece like this big and make it a mouth tip. At least it's heavier and it's stainless steel, and people are going to appreciate that, I hope. So we've got a lot of things in the pipe. One of the biggest things that I think I did over the past few years was bringing Hookah Expo worldwide to a reality. I mean, that's a big part of the HookahJohn recent history. Hookah Expo worldwide, I was traveling around to expos around the world, Germany, Russia, Brazil. I'm like, hey, this is the US. How come we don't have, they're amazing out there. I mean, those guys do an excellent job and the communities are great. But why does why does the US not have an expo that's strictly hookah like these guys? And so, I mean, it took years of planning and we pulled off the first one, and it was so hard to do, and it was a success. It wasn't huge, but by the time the second year came around, I'd almost given up. I'm like, I don't think I can repeat this or do better. And having a conversation with Jake Jacobson, just had a random meeting. Before the meeting, I never thought to bring him on board, and we talked about it, and I said, how do you like to be a part of this? Do you think you can do this? I already know his qualifications. He's been in business for years. I'm like, all right, well, now I'm pretty sure Jake should be on board, and he loved the idea, and he's doing a phenomenal job. He's doing everything that I can't do, which is great. He's just doing an excellent job. A lot of the credit goes out to Jake for making the second year good, which was better than the first year. He's doing a great job at Hookah Expo Worldwide 3, and already Hookah Expo or HEW Quattro is in works. Get ready for those announcements.
Oh, goodness. So you kind of covered a lot of the next stuff that I wanted to bring up to you, but I'm still going to ask you the question because I think we could go a little bit deeper into it. I wanted to know if you could kind of give us a walk down memory lane into the history of HookahJohn products. What was the very first product that you actually brought into the market? Was it the Narbiche hose? Was that the first one you released into the market?
I believe it was the Narbiche hose. Got a contact out in Egypt that was making hoses. There were other similar hoses out there at the time, which were it was only the Namor hose and God, I forget that guy's name. Adrian, help me out. Remember that kid he was on the boards? His name was
Astley?
Nizar or Razin hoses.
Oh my goodness.
Was Nizar, and
I haven't thought of these hoses in such a long time. Like, I just remembered everybody back in the day where they'd have the giant golf ball style parts on the bottom of it where they would be using it all the time. Like, those hoses are so... It's crazy to, like, look at the way that hoses look today, obviously. Like, we went through this renaissance of, like, these giant hoses and the Narbiche style. And now, look, yeah, we have all these, like, simple style ones.
Basically sticks, right? Like, these are... Yeah. I don't love the look. It's just ergonomic, basically.
But now they're coming back big and thick, as John is pimping them, obviously, with these massive these hoses that he's got going on with him. The Narbeast hosed now. They're just like these massive thick hoses that have these really good airflow to them, obviously. What was the first bowl that you brought to market? Was the Alien Bowl, correct?
That is correct. The Alien Bowl. I just wanted to do something like, at the time the story was Tangier's Bowl was the only bowl on the market. You needed to have one. You had to have one. They just couldn't produce enough. And so I'm like, all right, I want a bowl, but I don't want to copy the same thing. A lot of people were liking the smalls or the picos at the time. And I'm like, okay, so small bowl, good. How do we make a different idea? And I just wanted to make it more slanted, shallow. And the Alien was born. And I got the name because it looked, I don't know, like futuristic, not futuristic, but like super galactic or something. Not really, but the name Alien just stuck.
Yeah, it fits really nicely.
And then I noticed, like, over the years, more and more people started making their bowls. I'm like, well, I can't stop just because of Tangier's, because I really respect the Tangier's company and the owner and everyone behind Tangier's. But I have to start making these bowls because overseas they're already starting copy funnels every which way. I'm like, I'm just going to go and try not to make a similar shape.
Yeah.
You know, we have things that you don't find on Tangier's bowls, which don't necessarily make them perform different, but just give maybe some different character to it. Like our platform, I really like our platform that we have here. These grooves in here, and not all the bowls that we have that same thing, but it's hard coming up also with new bowl ideas because it's just a bowl, right?
100%.
The most important thing is you got a hole in the middle and the spire is just a little bit lower than the outer rim, and that it okay, your preference is how much tobacco you want to use.
Right. So, it's funny, you've got something that's like the Unica Bowl, which you did a limited release of a little while back. Those aren't still available, correct?
Yeah, they are available. We ran out.
They came back.
But they're just in high demand, and I don't get why. Because
they're great
it's
bowls.
It's very strange because the Unica, like you can spend a bunch of money on a stone bowl or a mason bowl or even go deeper and get a relics bowl or something. And these are all great bowls. But I would say the difference in performance between like something as cheap as a Unica bowl going all the way up to like $125 depending on what boutique bowl you're going to get, you get like a 5 to 10% difference in overall like performance. It's so similar, you know. So it's very interesting that people are I get it. Like, it's hard to keep coming out with bowl ideas because it's all basically the same device.
You can't reinvent the wheel, obviously.
Yeah.
So I always heard this rumor, and I don't know if you can comment on it or if you want to comment on it. It's up to you if you do or don't, obviously. But I always heard the rumor that you actually got the blessing from Tangiers to make the first funnel bowl outside of what Tangiers was doing. Is that a true rumor?
Well, I did tell him that I was going to do it and showed him what I was doing, and he did not say, "Don't do this."
Oh, that's basically a blessing. Yeah.
To quote a video,
very, very well. You know, there are certain things that we pass across each other in the industry between people, and sometimes we will tell someone, "I'd appreciate it if you don't do that." That's not really, you know, that kind of is a little awkward with our business relationship.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't against it, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's very good.
A lot of things that some of these guys do, they will ask me. I don't want to name certain brands, but they'll ask me, "Hey, John, I don't really think this is a good idea for you to do this." And I can have two different attitudes about it. I'd be like, F you, I'll do whatever I want. Or I could be like, all right, well, let's talk about it in detail. Let's see why, and then let's work it out. Either we'll do it, and sometimes it just goes to, all right, you got it. You know, somebody asks me a favor, I'm like, sure, why not? I see your point now. So it's good that, you know, instead of just everyone, like in overseas parts of this industry, a lot of people just come out with something and the next day someone's got the same exact thing, and then you see half a dozen people doing the same exact thing. And I don't think they have the communication that us US brands have. There's a lot of communication going on between a lot of the big guys and a lot of the little guys.
Oh, very interesting. So we got a lot of questions coming in through the chat right now. So I'm going to go ahead and jump over there and start listening to and start asking some of those questions as well. The first one comes from our good friend Stefan. Stefan wants to know, does HookahJohn always talk in the third person? Do you always talk in the third person is what Stefan would like to know?
That's a good one.
I try to. not when it's just John, definitely not. But when it's HookahJohn, why not? It's just funny. Sometimes I'll say things that are like, that sound a little bit, I don't know what the word is, maybe a little arrogant and stuff. So then I'll just continue on and do it in the third person. But it's all in good fun. I mean, those of you guys that know me in the real world, I mean, we've got a lot of the community that actually comes here and hangs out once in a while. And they see me just slaving away at the desk, and I'm a real person and just a normal guy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing, you know, I like to like joke around and act like things are really bothering me, and I'd love to just I love actually watching other people lose their shit and yell at people and demean them. I think it's hilarious when it's a joke, like in movies and stuff. In real life, you should never treat a person you know, without that, you know, simple respect as another human being. But for comedy purposes, I love doing it. You know.
So so we're finding out right now that John is the real person, but HookahJohn is the character.
Right.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
There's like an alarming amount of self-awareness that's being exposed right now.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone just thought you were this person, but it turns out you're also a person and a character. There's all sorts of things coming out right now. Travis Green has a very good question, and we're going to get a little bit serious now for just a second. He says, John, do you ever see your company having dark side for sale?
Oh, absolutely. As soon as they hit the U.S., why not? I know those guys in Russia, and they're pretty cool, and I'm waiting for it to be available here. See, this is another thing that like it could be a little the consumer's not going to like what I have to say, but all these people are bringing it in and buying it direct and spreading it around. I don't know if that's definitely not helpful towards us, but it's becoming available through channels that are not legal. In order to bring Darkside here, and Darkside's a big company, there's so much time, money, and marketing investment that you have to do, and then there's licensing. That stuff can't just come into the U.S. without having taxes paid on it. Now, I think it was Frank Cephalou who mentioned a comparison. It's like going to Cuba and coming back with cigars. You can still do that as a consumer. Like, yeah, I know, I get it, but I don't think I like the comparison so much. It's just we want it readily available in the U.S.
That's very true.
Like
even for us as like enthusiasts and the people that are getting it through quote unquote back channels and stuff like that, like the majority of us want to be able to just purchase it from a person or from a place that we can get it at a good amount of, you know, shipping and also just like availability, all those different things. We as a consumer, as much as I don't mind like buying things overseas and doing that sort of channel and stuff like that, I want it to be available in an easy way for me to be able to get it. That is a big thing. And I think right now, and I can't speak for everybody, obviously. I can only speak for myself. But I know for a fact, like myself, once it becomes more readily available in the U.S. and it's in the actual U.S. market, those are the times where I'm going to be able to support a U.S. brand that's actually carrying this stuff. Right now, you know, for a lot of people, that's the only way that they can go about getting it. And I can see what you're saying, where it's not the greatest, especially for somebody like yourself who owns a business and you make money off of selling these other products. So it makes complete sense, obviously. And I do think that you'll see that stuff really, really fall more down as we get more and more of that stuff more readily available and easier to buy in the U.S. That's at least the way that I kind of see it myself. Travis Green also has another question. He says, are you ever going to bring back the Project Black Bowl?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a good one. I don't know if I should comment on that. There are talks about it. I'm talking to the guys about it. There are technical difficulties in using that sort of clay that they use. And I don't want to say what it is. I don't want to say what the technical difficulties are. I'd like it to come back. I really like that bowl. I really like the materials. And I think if after this expo, there's a lot of things that I have on my plate after the expo. And one of the things I want to prioritize is to support those guys a little bit more and see if they can bring their product back, because they were like on a roll. I think they had a couple of versions, and I think they should have a whole line of bowls in that material.
That'd be exciting to see, especially because it's so different compared to what we have on the market now. That'd be really kind of nice to see. So we have another question from our main man, Pots and Pans, Bilu. He wants to know, John, can you speak a little bit more about the after party at HEW? What is the HEW after party plans, John?
Okay. Well, I know that everybody loves the guys at Oasis, and they're going to have some events. There's a couple of groups. You guys know them, Hookah University and the Hookah Lounge. I think it's one night each for them. But there are some other ones floating out there. Zomo is having a party Thursday night for those of you guys earlier who are coming in earlier at the Luna Lounge, which is pretty cool. Roar Tobacco is helping out. I think it's Jesse Hernandez. He's got a lounge out there, and I can't remember what night that is, but I think it's Saturday. Mm-hmm. There are rumors about Zoomerette throwing. They haven't given me the details, so I guess this may or may not happen because they have not given me the details. But they were planning on going big and renting a warehouse space with like hookah and DJ and food and just making a super awesome after party. Don't know if they're 100% there because they have not announced it. I hope they do. Another after party. You know what I might do? I did this the first year, and I did not do it the second year. The little bar at the Westgate gets packed with people from the expo, and we're just sitting there drinking, and you can go over, play a few hands if you want, or play some slots. The important thing is just being together with people and just spending time with them. And the people are what make the experience fun. So I might just go old school and go back to the Westgate a couple times at the end of the night and see what it's like. As far as going to any after parties, I kind of want to hit them all, but like breeze through and walk through. Mm-hmm. Right. Every year it's been a bit of a challenge because I've got a lot of extended families coming out here. Not really extended, but like siblings, and they bring their wives and good friends and cousins. And I always feel obligated. I want to take care of them because they came out and supported me too. That's on a personal level, not a HookahJohn level. But this year they're like, no, go do your thing. We're fine. And I'm like, all right, so maybe I will go hang out with the crowds at the after parties. Why not?
There's going to be no shortage of extracurricular activities after the expo.
Yeah.
There's going to be something to do no matter who you are.
And just to clarify, Hookah University is not going to be doing a actual party at Oasis. They're going to be doing it over at their mansion that they have. I believe it's all sold out for the RSVPs. They're doing a beer pong tournament, and I think it's all sold out, sadly. But they're not going to be at Oasis this year. They're going to be all over, obviously, at the expo. You can see them walking down. You can see Travis. You can see Jeremy and all those guys. guys, obviously. Dr. Noob Sauce, Paul, all of our good friends are going to be obviously hanging out and stuff like that, but they're not going to be doing an actual meetup this year at Oasis this time around. So we also have another question from my wife, Bridget. She actually wants to know, HookahJohn, what's your favorite drink, alcoholic and non-alcoholic as well?
Okay, favorite drink, alcoholic is definitely red wine.
What do you like, Cab Sav? What's your go-to? What's your go-to? Like a Merlot, Cabernet guy? What do you like?
Usually it's Cabernet, but I really like, you guys always hear me talk about my friends at Dow Vineyards. They're personal friends of mine, and they've just done amazing to the point of, like, he introduces me, Daniel Dow will introduce me to his friends as John's a big ambassador for Dow Vineyards. It's because I truly am. Like 90% of my wine fridge is loaded with Dow, and the good thing about them is they have so many different blends. So they've got like 3 or 4 different cabs, but then they have these things you can only get as a club member, which will be a mix between like a Petit Syrah and a Merlot, or a Cabernet Franc, and all of it's good and it's all different. So I can live off of Dow wines only because they have enough selection. If you're going to drink the same bottle every single time, you just can't. You'll get sick of it and you'll want something different. That's what I like about what they offer. The only 2 other drinks that I have that I put in my body, well, okay, I will have a beer once in a while. I will have hard alcohol, but beer just gets you fat and you got to urinate all the time. And then the hard stuff gets you drunk, and there's a time and place for that. But it's either this or this, which is water or coffee. And I just have one of these a day, and water as much as I can to hydrate. You know?
Amen. Amen. Coffee is all you need in life, guys. Coffee is all you need. I'm telling you right now.
Sugar is in everything, every single thing. So I just cut out sugar because I like my wine that much, and that's much
where you get your sugar
in my body.
You talking about wine was the thing that pushed me over into like getting a little bit too into wine. It's a lot like hookah. There's a lot of stuff you can explore and enjoy. I would venture to say that if you enjoy hookah, you probably enjoy wine. You should try to get into that world.
Yeah, I agree, because it doesn't mess you up. And plus, I like to be doing this all the time, and so with the hard alcohol, it just, it catches up to you, sneaks up on you really, really quick.
Got to be careful. You got to be careful.
You can keep going.
Okay, so let's get back into some of these interview questions that we have set up for you. I think this is a kind of an interesting question because you've been around the social world for a very long time. You were doing YouTube videos. You were part of the different forums and stuff like that. What are some of the changes that you have seen compared to, I would even say, if we go back 10, 11 years ago, we got places like hookahpro.com. We have places like hookahdomain.com. We have all these other venues of the way that we used to connect with each other and stuff. And obviously that's been replaced quite heavily by things like Facebook and the Facebook groups and stuff. Yeah. What are some of the changes that you've seen in the communities since those things have happened?
Okay. The positives on changing over to Facebook is that people have to, for the most part, use their true identity, which I really like, because then you get to know people and then you get to know a little bit of extra about them outside their hookah conversation. You can see their profiles, you can add them as a friend and so forth. So that's a really cool thing about Facebook groups. The not so cool things about the Facebook groups are censorship, which I know we're going to talk about in a little bit. Anybody can set one up. I mean, running a forum is costly and takes a lot more effort, and it's more legitimate. We could start our own Facebook group with us 4 right now, go to the next Facebook groups, start clipping people, poaching them over. And I really didn't like that change at all. Mm-hmm. Obviously, from the business point of view, I want all of it. It's impossible to get all of it. But then when you get like new Facebook groups coming up all the time, well, what makes you legitimate? And sorry, I'm going to say these are friends of mine, the Hookah Lounge, Hookah University. These guys are all, I consider them hookah enthusiasts. They're all friends in the community. But at the same time, and some of them do have what I'm going to say right now. What are your credentials? What do you do exactly? And it's just someone who's a hobbyist for the most part. And they are bringing good content, but I thought that my feelings on it are like, well, you don't really, all right, you're a hobbyist at best. You're not bringing anything to market, but at the same time they are, because they're researching out on their own and they're bringing more content in, whether it's products from other countries or bringing in smaller guys. I don't know how I feel about. Do you want to go into the censorship that we might be experiencing soon with Facebook
This
groups?
would probably be a great time to do that.
Yeah,
actually,
I think it's really good. If people are not aware, there is some new censorship that's kind of coming through the pipeline, if you will, of the Facebook groups that are really starting to crack down hard on tobacco products. And some of the things that they are not allowing is, it looks like there may even be a crackdown on like things like setup pictures or anything that is related to smoking hookah or the setup of hookah, anything that is tobacco related, obviously. So there's a lot of censorship that's coming down right now. How does that affect somebody like you, who is a business, who is somebody that has groups that are, I mean, not solely based around like, let me sell you something, obviously, but your groups are very much like, these are my HookahJohn products and stuff like that. So how does that affect you in the world of Facebook?
So far, it hasn't. I mean, those rules have been out for a while. Whoever brought up this post and everyone went into panic mode, those have been the rules for a while. But now we've seen some action taken against some bigger groups where they shut them down.
Yeah.
Is it going to happen to us, a smaller guy, smaller groups? Who knows? But I always kept Royal Hookah Forum open. I kept paying the monthly fees as far as maintaining that. But there's no content there. I mean, it's really bad. We can all go back there. But if we do, we have to revolutionize it to make it more appropriate to what you're talking about before, the changes. The generations online have changed over the years. What I liked about the forums is, I mean, it was like a real anything goes. And I was less mature at the time too. So I was really more outspoken. On Facebook, there's so many people there that get insulted right away. So I've calmed down over the years, but I really love the forum days and just being so open with everything and being seriously more honest. But we can go back to that, but we have to make it not just the same old forum, because they're boring. Now I see that they're more powerful as media platforms, the way they're organized. So that's what I really like about the forums. Facebook's the same shit every day, same questions over and over.
Well, it's a timeline. It's a timeline that keeps moving down. It's a timeline that nothing will stay on top. You can't. It's difficult to really keep good content. It's, you know, they say that the cream will rise to the top. That's not necessarily the case when it comes to Facebook.
You can have the best piece of content in the universe revolving around, let's say, hookah, come out, and it doesn't matter how good it is. Facebook presses it down because of how the timeline works.
Yeah.
So, and forums, that's not an issue. Unfortunately, forums take a little more effort from all parties to keep rolling. And I think that convenience is one of the biggest reasons Facebook has taken over.
I think that's definitely the biggest thing right there. Just like what Adrian said when it comes to convenience, if we want to revolutionize forums, if we want to, you know, all go back to Royal Hookah Forums, that's the best place to be at, I believe, is what John would probably tell us. Go to RoyalHookahForums.com, get your profile created right now and start posting content over there, obviously. But if we really want to revolutionize this forum idea, the convenience factor does really need to take a place into the way that things are done, because it's so easy to pull out your phone and to just start scrolling on Facebook and doing things on there. And it's a different mentality. It's a different approach. It's a different mindset that you have to get into when it comes to the forums, because you're not posting these kind of like throwaway type things over there. You're really trying to dig in deep to what it is you're actually taking a part of when it comes to forums, is the way that I've always kind of taken it.
Well, yeah, because now there is a app that we used to use back in the day. I think it was called Tap a Talk. So it made it convenient on your phone. But Facebook is so much more powerful because you're multitasking when you're scrolling through Facebook. You're checking out your personal friends' pages. You're checking out what this hookah group is doing, what that hookah group. Maybe you're a car enthusiast. It's all in one. It's your whole life.
Yes.
Facebook is your whole life in one, and all you're doing is swiping up and scrolling through. Whereas you've got to dedicate your time to a forum, which is you got to get on that application or be in front of a PC. So I don't know if it will survive, but if we're forced to, it's going to be odd, because it seems like some of these groups that got taken down, it may be random. And I bet that if it affects us smaller groups, well, let's say they get rid of Hookah University, but THL stays up. Why and what? I mean, that's a major advantage now that one group will have, and a disadvantage that the other one will have, and everyone will be at the mercy of who owns the group or who started it, and it's going to be a mess.
Yeah,
Yep.
if that was to ever come down the pipeline, that would definitely be a pretty big, crazy thing. So we got a couple other questions that are coming through our chat. If you guys have a question that you'd like to ask inside of the chat, make sure to drop a question mark in front of it so it's easy to pick out and we can grab it very quickly. Matthew Suppley has a very good question. He says, at what point does a hobbyist become a reputable enthusiast whose their advice matters, in your opinion? I mean, that's kind of obviously this is kind of like a very big question in a lot of ways, but like at what point do you think an enthusiast becomes a reputable source of information?
Well, buying and testing a lot of different products and from different places. I mean, there are enthusiasts out there who are legit and reputable, but how do I give that guy more legitimacy than the guy who just doesn't have as much? How do I put it? You get someone like Brandon. We all love this guy. He gets a lot of products from. He's got so many. And then you've got like, say, a Bob who's got so many products out there that he's purchased. And does that make him legit as a source because he's purchased it? Well, it's the content that they're bringing. How are they explaining it? And both of those guys do a great job doing that. I mean, better than I do. My content is just on the go, and I'm not too detailed in my content. Those guys are. So they are legit in my eyes.
Do you think it has anything to do with kind of so this is going to be kind of another kind of emotional word, I guess, so it's kind of hard to really gauge it, but it kind of has to fall back to the passion, right? Like an enthusiast who loves to smoke hookah can buy a lot of stuff, but maybe doesn't ever have that passion to move past that point of trying to get other people to also enjoy the hobby of hookah as well. Where somebody who has the ability to be an enthusiast and a passion to pass that on to others kind of helps with that legitimacy or helps with that kind of like useful advice, because they're not just someone that's trying to enjoy it on their own, but they're also somebody that's trying to get others to enjoy it as well.
Yeah, it's all in the content and how they present themselves. I mean, just because you're listening to one of these guys explain all that, and it doesn't mean you're not enjoying it as much as they are too. I mean, you're taking from that info and you're using it. It's just certain people have the personality and the character that they want to share that information. Okay. So I don't know, maybe legitimacy is not the right word to throw around, because how do you weigh that out? How does someone qualify?
It's all very subjective, right? That answer is gonna change from person to person.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, I like what people are doing now. I mean, there's a lot of great people in all of these groups, and there's a lot of, I don't know, maybe hacks out there, but in the end, we're all having a good time. We're all just chatting, and it just become very part of our everyday routine, reading what somebody's posted about hookah smoking. But it's great. They're bringing in, I mean, how do you think all these products they're spreading around the world? How did all the HookahJohn bowls go all over Europe and Russia and Brazil? I mean, it's through these groups.
What was that like the first time you saw one of your products make it across seas and get promoted? You know, your actual products, not the copycat products or anything like that, but your actual HookahJohn bowls, making it overseas, and you're seeing people enjoy your products that weren't just in America. What was that like?
That was a great experience, and I'll get to that, but the greater experience was before that, when I spoke to the guys at Hookah-Shisha, and they said, we want to carry your bowls. That was an amazing experience for me. That was a huge compliment. I felt like I had accomplished a lot with that, because they're the biggest and the best when it comes to being an online vendor, and they wanted to carry my product, and they even used my name. I mean, there's a conflict there, and they were able to see past that. So I really appreciate those guys for doing that, and that was a really great feeling. Moving on to, I don't even know where they went at first. I mean, they started just going out in small batches, like 20, 30 bowls at a time, to like just smaller stores in France and in the UK and in Germany and the Netherlands or Denmark. Then all of a sudden, these bigger companies are coming out and they're ordering bowls by the thousands. And it's like, even this past year, I mean, we've got a company in Germany that's made a 10,000 bowl order. These things are made by hand. They're not spit out by machines in China. They're not that easy, and just trying to keep up with that. So that's amazing, because one, it's another business that's supporting me. Two, there's a demand out there. So Europe and Russia, and even Brazil. It's a great feeling that they know. A lot of the consumers don't even know that it's a HookahJohn product. They just have it. It's become normal. Like a lot of people would say, well, you'd ask them what kind of bowl they have. They might not even use the word funnel bowl. They're like, I don't know, it's a bowl. But it spreads so much over the world, and it's just an amazing feeling. Because especially since there are so many other bowl options out there now. And I don't know the Chinese stuff from years ago, those things have been mass produced, but any type of craft bowl or handmade bowl, I really would guess that we have the most going on out there around the world, just by the numbers that I know that we do. And the way that you, just the ability to produce so much. For a handcrafted bowl, I'm going to make, that's another video I'm supposed to make after Hookah Expo Worldwide. I got to show you the guys who make these bowls, the artisans who make them. It's so amazing. I was actually at a party with them last weekend, and a lot of the guys I didn't even know. They're just new because they're hiring on new guys to do this. And it was just fun to meet them all. I'm like, we really have to like showcase you guys.
Well, that brings on kind of a nice question, a nice transition to this, and I hadn't even thought about it until just now, but would you like to comment, or what would be your comments on the boutique bowls that we see in the market? What are your thoughts on those type of things? Obviously, like Alpaca is not so much boutique because they generate so many, obviously, but more the things like stone bowls and mason bowls. Like, obviously, as we discussed earlier, it's not like you're getting this like 110% change of the way that you're going to be able to smoke with these amazing bowls, but like they are artisan and they are boutique and they are for a different kind of consumer style with that ultra enthusiast and stuff like that. What are your thoughts about these sorts of bowls?
Okay, well, that's a good question, and maybe I may tick some people off or appease some people, but like the stuff that Brandon George makes is worth every penny. Good quality clay. It's different than our clay. I know that for sure. But the craftsmanship that goes into that is just amazing. Mm-hmm. Each one, he spends a lot of time making each bowl. So, I mean, the costs they're actually cheap if you think about how much time he puts into those. That's great. We're actually going to do an artisan. We've been talking about an artisan line for so long, like an actual boutique bowl. It's just
Kyle Smith would be a really good person to talk to about that.
Yeah, who?
Kyle Smith would be a very good person to talk to about that. Just throwing his name out there for no particular reason. Just wanted to say that real quick.
I think I've contacted him. On the mason bowls, I'm not sure how those are made, but I feel like they're I may be wrong, and that's where I said some people may get pissed off. I think they're like slip cast bowls.
They are. That is a fact. Yeah,
That's
they are slip cast. They don't even hide that information.
So they're not like boutique bowls. So I wouldn't put them in the same category as Brandon George Stone Bowl. But to move on to other brands, and Work Bund is coming out there, they have bowls like this. Let's see, and I carry them. Oh shit, I'm gonna have to like knife this open.
Go right ahead. Like we said, HookahJohn does a great job of keeping it on point, because if you're interested to get any of the bowls that he's about to show off right now, he's inside the HookahJohn world right now. So this bowl that you're seeing right now, you can head on over to hookahjohn.com and actually pick that up. And if you're the winner of the $25 gift card, you can use that into getting this as well, along with your special edition HEW VIP only bowl as well. I'm doing my best to riff a little bit while he's trying to open this bowl right now so that there's no dead air, because
yeah, you keep riffing, because like, again, I watch a lot of HookahJohn videos because I just like consuming hookah content in general. And for right now, for me, this is just like watching a HookahJohn video live, which, you know, on YouTube doesn't happen very often.
We just had a question as well that just asked if there's a AM Hookah. Oh, look at that! Yes, those are so interesting looking. They're
Egyptian style, which I think is highly underrated.
Yeah, see, but I don't think I would use this bowl.
Really?
I love Work Bund and everything that they do, but it's just not my style. It's not the style of it. It's the materials used. Work Bund makes a lot of amazing products, but that's not one of them in my opinion.
That's what's great about hookah, though, because like maybe you don't like it, but if there's someone that does like it, open market,
and
great. You know, not everything's for everybody.
There you go.
Yeah, who makes this thing? I don't know. Different materials, I can appreciate that. It's a lip bowl, but it looks like it's for, if you see the diameter on this, it's pretty small, so I don't think it would fit a Cloud Lotus in it.
More Provost, maybe.
But again, it's just a funnel bowl, right? It's a short one. It's short and cool, but it's pretty simple. They went low on the glaze, kind of like a Unica bowl, right? I don't know. It's got some character in it though. There's something else I wanted to show you.
There was a question in the chat that asked if there is an AM Hookah discount over at HookahJohn.com, and in fact there is. If you're heading on over to HookahJohn.com, use the discount code AM Hookah for 10% off any order that is over $45. Once again, that discount code is AM Hookah over at HookahJohn.com for 10% off any order that is over $45 or more. We're very thankful that John allows us to have that discount code over there as well. But if you guys want to help support the show in some way and buy some awesome products from HookahJohn, use that discount code AM Hookah for 10% off any order over $45.
What do we have there?
That's another work bun.
This is another work bun bowl.
Wow.
They're making a lot of bowls too. Again, it's same shape on the inside, so it is a bowl. It will work. I have not tried the materials here yet. But a lot of people who am I to tell you what bowl to get? You know,
right.
I sell bowls. They're available to you. I hope you buy them. But I mean, hookah bowls, no one has one hookah bowl anymore. Everyone's got a collection. So just trying to bring more to the market. There's so many out there. I don't know the quality of these again, but the good thing about the Expo, Hookah Expo Worldwide 3, Work Bun is coming out too. So
I did not know that Work Bun was going to be there. Actually, I thought that. Oh, that's fantastic to hear.
Time to get some tongs,
I have been eyeballing one of those Work Bun hookahs, the one that looks like it has like the wooden stem and the clay pot and everything for the. I think those things look so cool. I cannot wait to go and check that out in person. That's going to maybe be my hookah at the show that I'm planning on picking up. That's exciting news. I did not know that they're actually going to be at the expo themselves. That's cool to hear. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Actually, moving on from the work bun a little bit, I would like to hear your general thoughts on the Russian market. Obviously, Russia's taking over when it comes to hookah in a lot of ways. America does wonderful things when it comes to tobacco production, hookah production, bowl production, all those kinds of things. But Russian hookah production has really, really taken off over the last few years. Yeah. What's your thought, not only as an American provider and a vendor, obviously, but just as an enthusiast yourself? What are your thoughts of the Russian market and what they're doing for hookah?
There's a lot of great stuff that comes out of Russia and a lot of stuff that is not so great. You really have to do the research, and Brandon brings out a lot of good products, and he's purchased a lot of happy products over the years. So I've been able to test some of them out there when I was in Russia. I want to see more come from them because someone said don't discuss politics. Part of the reason Dark Side isn't coming out here, I think it's difficult to import product from Russia to the U.S. And likewise. So I'd like to see more come out, but I've said this before too. If a brand is from a certain country, I want their products to be there, not just like a Russian company going to China and cranking out a hookah. Anyone can do that. There's no point in that. There's some, I want it to be manufactured in Russia before I get it. That's why I like the Pharaoh hookahs so much. That's a brand that I decided to carry too, and I'm pretty happy with them. But yeah, I want to see more original Russian stuff because they are taking it to a different level, obviously, and it's just such a great hookah market out there. And same with any other country,
Is there any product that's in a different market right now that you're excited for or looking to maybe bring to the American market in some way? Is there anything, maybe not even Russian, maybe German or Brazilian or wherever the case may be? Is there any particular product that is exciting you in some way?
I didn't see anything last time. Nothing comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Although, okay, there's a brand that's coming from that's representing a few Russian products. I think it's called like World Hookah Tobacco, something like that. But they're like they're bringing in McLeod and Japona, and those are some really good brands. That, as far the little that I've seen on them, especially Japona, I didn't bring them in because they were pretty expensive, and didn't know how I could market those. But maybe we'll see them at the expo and there'll be enough interest in them. Because this is what happened with Russian hookahs over the years. We got Like Smoke and Union hookahs, and everyone's raving about them. I'm like, they're all right, they're not the best hookahs out there, but if you ask, I think it's Jack Tasmanian loves his like smoke hookah.
I love my like smoke.
As Matt sitting there with a like smoke.
I love my like smoke hookah. This is my daily hookah right here. Like, this is the one that I smoke, I clean, and I smoke again. Like, I love this like smoke hookah. But I know, I get what you're saying. I understand when you get past the point like of smoking hookah and you know how to do it well and you get the flavors that you enjoy and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, the hookah is a very aesthetic thing that is very personal and super subjective in a lot of ways. Which in some respects, it kind of should be. You know, if you really think about it, like it is a personal smoking device. It's something that you are going to enjoy. I know, like I love my like smoke very much, obviously. Adrian is a huge fan of his Matt Pear hookah. Bracken loves his DSH hookah. Like, these hookah and these pipes are not only for the fact that they smoke well, but it's also because they connect with us or mean something to us personally as well.
Right. They're, in the end, it's just a pipe going into a jar of water and with a couple ports and you're smoking out of it. It's not, again,
Simple
that's where
machine.
there's not rocket science anymore. There aren't, I mean, some have some functioning features that are kind of cool, like different purges that we're seeing coming out. But I mean, when you're smoking, you're not purging. Purging is just something you have to do to get the smoke out once in a while. But it is the aesthetics and the quality of the materials used, and depends on your budget. It's like cars. I mean, we got cars that are made for like brand new for like $15,000, and cars that are made for $1 million. So there's something for everyone out there. They're all going to get you pretty much the same results.
So that kind of brings into another kind of good question that I had for you when it comes to kind of gimmicks in hookah. And this is kind of an interesting one. I think that we can have a good conversation about it. I'd like to hear Adrian's thoughts on this too, actually. Passing it over to him maybe first. Is what do you think is the biggest gimmick in hookah? Like, it's not something that's needed. It's not a necessity. It's just a big gimmick. Some people latch onto it. Some people enjoy it. What is one of those things that's just the biggest gimmick in the hookah culture that we use that doesn't matter, but it's there and it's happening all the time? Can you think of one off the top of your head, Adrian?
I mean, nothing that's like actually taking off. Most of the things that I use that are in like my house that I use for hookah, I think are pretty cool. There's some products that have been tried, you know, they've been released and people talk about them, and the consensus for most of the groups and people in the community go, no, we're not going to use that. But like, I don't know, non-cool heating systems, those exist. I don't trust those.
Non-cool heating systems?
Non-coal.
Non-coal heat. Okay, you're talking about like the electric
heating systems.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sure you've seen those.
I have no interest in electricity.
I got one that I saw today that was hilarious because the person, I don't want to get into names or anything, but he said he wanted to share one of the most interesting products that he saw at Shisha Messe. And it's a base stand with LEDs that connects to your hose port. And it comes with an app that lets you control. Meanwhile, this guy thinks he's some kind of advanced hookah smoker, or I don't know what you call him. But it measures the rate and speed of your puffs, how much you smoke, how long you inhale. It allows you to constructively document every flavor you pack, your blends. It's like, dude, we're just smoking hookah here, all right? We're just smoking hookah.
It's not rocket science.
For someone who tries to claim such legitimacy, which has pretty much none, this has got to be the funniest thing I ever read. I'm waiting for him to come out and say I was just joking on this, by the way.
Hopefully, because that's going a little bit deep down the wrong rabbit hole.
Yeah,
I don't know about that one.
Steven says sunny side down. Shiny side down, Jesus, is the biggest gimmick of all. I think that I would agree with that, actually.
That's a superstition.
Superstition, that's a good way to put it. I think, you know, and this is going to kind of sound odd, and I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but like when it comes to gimmicks and actual things that are maybe not necessity by any stretch of the imagination, obviously, but like HMDs are very much a gimmick. It is an absolute gimmick to make your quote-unquote session last longer, smoke better, bigger clouds, better flavor, all that stuff. They do work. I'm not like here knocking them. I'm saying that
everything you said was correct except for session longevity.
But they are a gimmick, right? Like the idea of getting the product itself is to sell you on an idea, which is what a gimmick is really there to do. And even though they're great and they work, and I'm using a Provost right now, so like I'm fully invested in these gimmicks and stuff like that. But like at the same time, they're not a necessity. You can still just smoke with that coal right on that foil, and you'd be good to go. That's the way that it should be.
You know what HMDs are made for? I don't use them, but one of the makers of one, Cloud Lotus, told me one time, he goes, it's more for consumer ease. And the thing that we forget about, we've all been smoking so long that it's not that hard to pack a bowl. Well, for some people that have only been to lounges a few times and want to get one at home, it is a little challenging in the beginning. And that HMD does save them a lot of hassle. I mean, for us, foiling a bowl, packing a bowl and foiling it and poking holes you can do it blindfolded. But for other people, it's not that easy. And someone needs to show you in person, for the most part, how to foil a bowl. I mean, yeah, there's good videos out there.
It's not intuitive. You know, it takes a little bit of practice and muscle memory to develop doing it right every single time. It's probably, you know, I think we sometimes lose perspective being surrounded and being immersed in a community where everyone smokes hookah all the time and everyone's been doing it for a good amount of time. Any new people that come to that community are immediately informed. But, you know, a lot of people just smoke hookah real casually. They don't put a lot of thought into it. They don't really care what they're smoking. And that the HMDs are the gold standard for those people, because they don't have to, it's like John said, they don't have to worry about anything. You put some tobacco in the bowl, you throw that HMD on top, and you just smoke for 2 hours, and it's easy.
Yeah. I'm reading some of these comments. There's so many out there. We just can't do this.
Yeah, we can't hit them all. It's unfortunately we cannot hit all the comments. That's why we had to hire Bracken on, because it got to the point where we were like, we're just ignoring people at this point, so that sucks.
Which I hate to. I definitely love reading those comments and seeing everything that you guys are talking about, because we appreciate it so much for you guys and your activity and the conversations that are happening inside the chat and stuff.
Speaking of which, we are slowly but surely running out of time here.
Oh my God.
So there's some questions that we're not going to be able to get through our whole punch list of questions either, Matt. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yeah.
But there are 1 or 2 questions on this list that I think are like super important.
Yes.
And one of them is, John, I don't know how much you can let us know about, how much you can like leak, but what's, to the best of your ability, whatever you can release, what is next for the Hookah Expo next year? Is there anything? Tell us about it.
We won't tell anybody. It's just us right now. Just
we're not live to like 60 people right now.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Give us the details.
There's so many accomplishments this year from the previous 2 years that we're so proud of right now. Like bringing in brands like Tangiers. That is huge, because Tangiers is never exhibited anywhere, and they don't have much of a communication channel to the consumers. Not lately, anyways. The past few years. So that's a huge accomplishment for Hookah Expo Worldwide. And the fact that we've got so many international brands coming in, that is just huge. And then new products too, like some of the smaller guys, like Hotbox Hookahs coming out. I have to look at the list again. I could say something about most of them. But coming up, we're going to have to regroup after this and see where we did really well, what was strong, and what was missing. And that's what we did last year. What was missing from last year was a lot of the international brands. And then, you know, we always miss Tangiers coming out. So I'm sure if we've been on this trajectory, I guess, with the Hookah Expo Worldwide in 3 years, we're just going to focus on keeping it going up, making it bigger and better every time. One thing I missed that we didn't do last year or this year was a pool party at night. They're just so costly. I mean, not enough people come, and nor does the expo generate enough money. I think they wanted it ends up costing like $25,000 for the pool party. Jeez. And then they control everything from like what kind of food and beer you get there, and it's not the best quality, and it's like, is it really worth it? And then someone's got to come set up hookahs all the time. The first year it was Alchemist, and they were working their asses off to make sure everyone's having a good smoke, and it's a lot of work and a lot of money. But I still want to try to find a venue to have these after parties at. These lounges are not big enough to have the type of parties that we really need. Every hookah lounge in town is going to be jam-packed.
Oh yeah. Last year it was just absolutely madness at like Oasis and stuff like that. It was
this expo is so good for Vegas local business. Oh man.
Speaking of local business and all that stuff, some of these bigger brands, they show me their budget of what they're spending. We've got brands that are spending well over $200,000 just to be there. They're not going to recoup that in the weekend. They're doing it for mind share and being able to present their products to you, which is just huge for them. Actually, my cost, just because I'm going bigger now, has gone up exponential just to exhibit at Hookah Expo Worldwide. And you're talking where at my expo, I don't really have to come up with the floor space. The floor space is actually the cheapest thing of their cost, but people bringing out staff, some people bringing out staff from around the world, hotel rooms for everyone, feeding everyone, in order to represent them the right way, and then building these booths. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Chaos is building, because I've seen what they've done in Germany. I saw it. It's like a giant party inside their booth, and I hope that they make the same effort for the US, because they've been from one expo to the other since I met them in Germany, which was March. They've been to the Czech Republic. I think there's something out there. They've been to Russia just this past weekend. They went to Sevilla, to Hookah Shisha Messe in Sevilla, Spain. And I mean, they've done literally 4 or 5 expos since Shisha Messe in Germany. And it's like, how do they keep up with that? There's a lot of money being thrown out there, which is just great for the consumer. Mm-hmm. I mean, you get to see them anywhere you are in the world.
So we are running out of time, sadly. We could be talking to you, John, for a very long time. We're going to have you on sometime later on in the season as well. There's a couple of small questions that I want to try and get to from a couple of people in the chat that we have not forgot your question. I promise we're trying to get through them as much as we possibly can. One of them was from our good friend J-Rock. He says, last year it was a pleasure meeting you in person. My question to you is, are you ever thinking about making a second version of the Flying Saucer Bowl? And I want to ask you about this just because the Flying Saucer Bowl is such a unique bowl. If no one's ever seen it, please go and look up videos for Flying Saucer Bowls. But have you ever thought about doing like a second version of that or a variation of it in some way?
No, we haven't focused on it because the Flying Saucer Bowl was not a big seller. It was down there as one of it's just not a popular bowl. And it does have a flaw in it. The way the coals are, you got to use flats for one. You can't use cubes or cubettes. They'll roll off eventually. Yeah. So it is a unique bowl, and if we were able to do it, I appreciate the idea of things to do after the expo. Look into revamping the Flying Saucer Bowl, but maybe have a little function not having the flaw in it of what makes it, just the way the foil has to be packed on it. So that's a good idea. Maybe we are looking in. Here's the thing. Since the last expo, we had a meeting here right after we all drove back from Vegas, and we brainstormed, and we said, you know what, though, after this, we're going to make a whole new line of bowls. We're going to change all the colors of the bowls. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. And just the year has gone by so fast and there's been so much demand. We haven't changed anything. So one of the good things is you're going to see new color schemes at the expo this weekend of all our bowls. There's going to be, we revamped the color scheme line. They're not online yet. But if you are at the expo, you will see them, and coming up with new colors is challenging and fun at the same time. It's just aesthetics. It doesn't really matter, but there are some glazes that work better than others. So we want to see what we can do after Hookah Expo Worldwide and coming out with some new products. And like you said, or revamping some of them like the Flying Saucer Bowl. So thanks, J-Mac, for that. So the J-Mac or J-Rock?
J-Rock. And for anyone, I don't want to be exclusionary to the 60-some people watching this live right now. So for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about with the Flying Saucer Bowl, think of an alien, but it's got a vortex-like spire, and that spire is raised above the rim level. So it the foil is making this kind of shape. Just for anyone who hasn't been around long enough to know what that bowl is.
Go look up the Flying Saucer Bowl. It'll make your day. I promise you it will. Well, this conversation has flown by so very quickly, and we need to give away the awesome HEW exclusive bowl. You have to be watching, obviously, to have entered into this. If you have not entered, this is your very last chance to. There's the beautiful looking bowl. Type in !HEW VIP, all one word, and you'll be entered into the raffle to get this bowl. It's absolutely fantastic looking. I'm super happy that I'm a VIP, so that I'm going to get one of these bowls. Adrian is going to be probably trying to steal it off of me, but I won't let him. It's mine.
Oh, it'll work. I think I might be able to take you.
So maybe, I don't know. I don't want to have that competition. But he's also not only giving away that wonderful looking bowl, but also $25 gift card to HookahJohn.com as well. We couldn't say thank you enough to this from HookahJohn. I think it's very nice of him to partake in this and be willing to do this giveaway, obviously. Make sure you're entered into that giveaway. I'm going to be closing it down here in just a moment. I guess while we wait for that very briefly, I do want to say, John, you gave the most amazing political style answer when we asked you about anything you could possibly leak for next year. So I just want to tell you that if you ever want to look into politics with answers like that, it'll be a runaway for you. You'll have no worries. Don't ever move to Knoxville with Fletcher Cox, otherwise you guys might have to compete against each other, because that was fantastic. Gave us nothing and gave us everything.
Fletcher Knoxville is his name.
Fletcher, I said Fletcher Cox, didn't I? I apologize.
You're
to
thinking
him.
of Cox. You're screwing things up.
Oh my gosh, my joke just went completely down the hill. All right, so while we wait for the raffle to get closed off, final chance, just trying to get any last tidbit of information. Is there any surprises that you can share with us right now before the expo? Obviously, it's this Saturday and Sunday. A lot of people are getting there on Friday and stuff. Thursday for myself, Adrian, and a few others as well, obviously. Is there any last surprise that you can share with us that we can, just let it out? I know you've been holding on to it. It's been building this tension in your body. Just let it out.
See, the problem is I tend to leak everything. That's the problem. I do it along the way. As soon as I hear Super Sacco might be there, I'm like, Super Sacco is going to be there, and try to twist their arms. And I'm pretty sure he's confirmed to come in. Surprises there? I don't know. Whoever the winner, you guys aren't going to believe who the winner of the hookah battle is going to be. There's a surprise right there. Perfect.
Wow, just awesome, just fantastic political answers on today's episode. This is you're too much, John. You're too
Matt,
too
I
giving.
think you and John vamped enough. Let's close that giveaway, bud.
Let's go ahead and close it. We're going to close the giveaway right now. There's no more entries that are going to be allowed to get in there. Okay, so first and foremost, thank you so much to HookahJohn for being on the episode today. Head on over to HookahJohn.com. You can use the discount code AM Hookah for 10% off any order over $45 or more. The winner of this is obviously going to get a $25 gift card, which is really cool. We really appreciate you being on the show, John. We appreciate all the work that you and Jake are putting into, and all the other vendors and everyone else that's working the expo as well, that are putting into Hookah Worldwide Expo number 3. We're super excited to find out about number 4 once this one is over, but let's take everything one day at a time. Adrian, if you could please give me a drum roll, I would really appreciate that.
Man, that's all I got.
All right. The winner is Joe N. Joe N. 2 things. You have to be in the United States of America, and you have to be in the chat. Are you here, Joe N.? Joe N., please, if you are in the chat right now, please confirm that you live in the United States of America and North America so that we can make sure to get this prize over to you. We're going to give him just a little while inside of the chat, and we will make sure that he is here to accept that live. If he's not here to accept it live, we're going to move on to the next person. We're only going to give him a short amount of time, because if you're here, you should be active in the chat and you should be watching it. We said we're doing this raffle. We said we're doing this giveaway, obviously. So we're just kind of waiting, baiting, holding. Oh, it looks like he just showed up. Joe N. is here. Perfect. Congratulations, Joe. If you're on Facebook, the best way to contact us is through Messenger.
Let's confirm that he's, are you from the States, Joe N.? I just want to make sure that we can confirm that right now. Yes. I don't know if we let people know that at the beginning. We probably should have.
If I did not say that, I'm sorry. I meant to.
This is a big one. We had a lot of stuff to go over before even coming on.
Yes, Joanne, are you here in the United States of America? Are you going to be at the expo? If you're going to be at the expo, you might even be able to just pick your prize up from John himself. I don't know. Maybe not. Let's find out. I don't want to sit here and not talk. Once again, John, we appreciate you being on the show. Very, very thankful that you were able to come on and be a part of everything that we're doing. We really appreciate the support that you've shown the show over the years as well.
Yeah, thanks a lot. If you guys have if you guys save all this footage and it's clear, because I'm watching it, it's kind of the resolution isn't so good, especially on mine. If you have a good raw file of this, I'll upload it on my YouTube channel too. And especially if you can do it soon, because we're coming up to the expo this weekend. And I'd like to spread it out there, because we've got a lot of information that you guys covered, and I thank you guys for asking all the questions. I wish I could answer all the viewers' questions. There's a lot of stuff out there, so
yeah, we went through.
I'll put this up on. This is a great show. I've done this show with you guys before in the past. I think this is a great one because it's not really 100% about myself. It's more about the expo and bringing everyone together. So. I'm excited for all the excitement that's out there. But I'm reading everyone's comments over the year. Everyone can't wait to go, and I'm just really happy about that.
We'll definitely have to have you come back on the show as well so that we can do more of a question and answer style with more people. We got through as many as we possibly could, but as you can see, the chat goes pretty haywire at times. So thank you to Bracken Cox, our amazing producer, helping out so much behind the scenes with so many things that he does. Thank you to Austin, Captain Wetbeard, as well, helping out in so many different ways with the Facebook page, obviously. I'm going to go ahead and make Captain Wetbeard's job a little bit easier today and say that whatever the photo is for the next 2 weeks, because there's not going to be an episode on next Monday, make sure you drop. He is in the U.S. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, Joe, for letting us know. Contact us on Facebook would be the absolute best way. You can contact myself. You can contact Adrian. You can contact Bracken. You can probably contact John directly if you really want to. There's no problem with that, I would imagine. Don't contact Joe. Don't contact HookahJohn at all. Let us take care of it. Bracken is
congratulations, Joe. You can send me an email to john@hookahjohn.com and confirm you are whoever Joanne is. And
all right, so
care of it.
I think that's all that we have to cover. Adrian, if people want to find you on the internet. Oh, what I was going to say was if you want to post your pictures from the Expo for this week's Picture of the Week that we're going to do in 2 weeks on the next episode of the AM Hookah Podcast, that is what we're going to be looking for, the best picture of the Expo. I know a lot of you guys from the AM Hookah group are obviously going, so I think that's a fine one to be using. If you're not going, I apologize. I hope next year you guys are obviously able to make it and everything. So if people want to find you all over the internet, Adrian, if the stalkers are looking for you, where can they look to find you?
Well, you like Hookah.
I got something before. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Adrian.
No, you're good. I can do this. I do this every podcast, so you go ahead.
Okay. There's something hilarious that just happened. I just want you guys to say that I had no say in who won this prize, right?
No,
I
absolutely.
did not.
Oh no, it was a complete random raffle. Yeah. So
this is what picked the winner.
I was not involved. I was not involved.
No.
Okay. The funniest thing is I'm messaging my brother, Joe Nador, and he's the one who won this.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Well,
so I was like, really? I saw that, and I was trying not to laugh. And he's like, should I tell him I'm your brother? Should I back out? I'm like, no, it's cool. I'll see you soon enough. So
the rules were watch the podcast and be, there when we call the name, and there were no rules against being HookahJohn's brother.
Yeah,
so
you wouldn't be willing to give another listener this prize package so that somebody other than your brother wins, would you?
Oh, Matt.
Tell you what, first thing, I really don't have to give my brother anything, so that's good. So I don't have to do this. If you want to do one more,
okay,
go ahead and do something that's more fair, because Joe has access to all my products. So.
Joanne already have all of this.
All right, yeah. So the next winner of this
call out one more.
Is Jimmy Saver, and I know who this is. Congratulations, Jimmy, longtime listener of the podcast.
We don't even need to have him. He just commented "Peace out," so we're good. He is very much active to the end of the show.
I know who Jimmy. I know he's here. I know how to contact him. So that's awesome. Thank you, John. I appreciate. I'm sorry for putting you on the spot. I know that was kind of dickish of me. I apologize.
That's what he does.
No, that's awesome. Yeah. I think I know Jimmy Sarver too. He comes in here too, so he can come by anytime. Let him know, and I'll remember that. And that makes it great. So Joanne is saying this is horse shit. Oh
my God, that's fantastic. Thank you so much, John. Thank you for that. Adrian, if people want to find you all over the internet, where can they find you?
I gotta reset. I had the whole thing queued up. You like hookah tutorials, reviews, unboxings, and other hookah bullshit, come check me out on Pipe Dream Hookah. That's my YouTube channel. Search it. Blue Bricks, that's how you can find me. If you want to follow me on socials, you can go to _Pipe Dream. That's Twitter and Instagram. And if you want to find me on Facebook, you know my name and you know what my face looks like, so you should be able to do the trigonometry on that and figure it the fuck out. Matt?
If you want to find me, you can find me all over the internet as well. I like to use Twitter, @OnlyMattDezen. You can find me on Instagram, @OnlyMattDezen. You can find me on Facebook as well, Matt Dezen. This is what my face looks like. And you can head on over to the AM Hookah Podcast group and page. You can also find us on Twitter, AM_Hookah. And you can also find us on Instagram, AM Hookah Podcast as well. Make sure you go and check out the merch over at Teespring. This is the limited edition Circle Back to Corn shirt that you probably won't be able to get for much longer, so you might want to head over there right away and get yourself a shirt before they are all gone. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. We appreciate you guys so very much. John, once again, thank you so much. Everybody go to Hookah Expo. I know it's only a few days away, but if you haven't bought your tickets and you're close by or you can get there, make sure you do that. Head on over to HookahJohn.com. Use the promotion code AMHookah for 10% off any order over $45 or more. You guys are fantastic. I can't tell you thank you enough. Until next time, well, keep on smoking. Bye.
All right. Bye. Thanks.
you.